Hey everybody, welcome to Funnel Hacker TV. Today we have another guest that is going to be speaking on the stage at Funnel Hacking Live. And we just found out that he just hit $10 million in his business and has officially applied for the 2CCX award. This person has done crazy webinars in crazy locations, and I cannot wait for you guys to come and meet him. So stick around, we'll roll the intro and then we will introduce him.
We are part of an underground group of entrepreneurs that you've probably never even heard of before. We are funnel hackers, and these are our stories.
Everybody at Funnel Hacker TV, my name is Ben Moot. This is
Susan Leonardson.
And we get to be here in order to talk to you about the new speakers for Funnel Hacking Live. We usually have Funnel Hacker TV. We go through all the things that are brand new and crazy and cool in the ClickFunnels world. Today, we get to talk about Funnel Hacking Live because we have some amazing speakers. And today's is crazy. This hasn't happened before where somebody is so prepared to be able to hop on and be able to talk about their business that they send us a video. Like we get to watch like this little video. It's a little teaser of what he's going to be talking about, all the different pieces. So really quick, a lot of us have heard webinars were great. They did well, but they're dead now. They just don't work anymore. And if you turn them into auto webinars, you're not doing them live all the time. Good luck. Today, we're bringing on somebody who is going to reverse that entire narrative. This is what is fueling his business today. He's going to share with you how he does it, how he makes it truly dramatic. This is how you actually go the extra length and you get people to show up for your webinar. There's this extreme ability to create a powerful hook for your webinar. And sometimes that can just be the location. Today, we get to invite and introduce our next Funnel Hacking Live speaker, Tim Shields. Let's go ahead and roll the video that he sent.
Okay, there's one coming right now. My name is Tim Shields, and I'm a photographer entrepreneur, and I sell master classes from home using live webinars.
And we are live!
Click the button now. Click the button now. Click that button now.
The world has changed because satellite internet access is now portable.
2, 1, go for launch.
Hey guys, look at this. Now you can travel with a Starlink dish, which means you can get internet from literally anywhere.
We got to find a way to make some money out of it.
We can host a live webinar from the wilderness and sell something.
Yes. What about from the edge of the Grand Canyon? This would be a world's first.
Yeah, but what are we going to sell?
We're going to travel to the 8 most epic destinations in the Wild West, and we're going to build the perfect masterclass along the way.
I'm Leah. I'm Tim's wife, and I'm the videographer.
And we're going to sell the masterclass during a live webinar from the edge of the Grand Canyon.
We've only got 3 more days until the live webinar. How are we going to finish the masterclass?
I have no idea. If we don't get more people to commit to watching, then I am going to lose so much money. We may not make it in time. It's over 3 hours of off-roading. We're backpacking a satellite dish and solar panels literally to the edge of the Grand Canyon. Almost at the edge. So many things can go wrong here.
Just a second, stop.
Tim, you've been spending $5,000 a day to advertise this live event.
We haven't even finished making the masterclass, but we need to sell it right now.
Damn, I suck.
And we are live from the edge of the Grand Canyon.
Oh, how are you, Tim?
And we are live. It's so great to be with you guys.
It's so wonderful to have you. Thank you for coming.
Great to have you. So
I'm so excited to be here and to talk about the fact in your intro, webinars are not dead and auto webinars are definitely not dead. And I can't wait to talk about all of this today with you now, and especially from the stage at Funnel Hacking Live.
amazing. All right. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. But first, can you tell us a little bit of, I mean, we kind of got it in the video. Is there anything you want to add a little bit more of an origin story? How did you first get into ClickFunnels? Like at what point did you bring your business into ClickFunnels?
Yeah, absolutely. I had no business at all. And I was a hobbyist landscape photographer. Like, it was just literally a hobby. I was nothing special. I had no social media following whatsoever. And 4.5 years ago, my wife, Leah, and I took a big trip to the southern southwest states like California, Arizona, Grand Canyon, and we were going through a transition in our lives at that point. I was kind of in between careers, and I was looking for the next thing for me. And it was a 1 month long road trip in our truck and camper. And I was steadfast in my desire that by the end of that 1 month road trip, I would know what the next season in life would be for me. We were like praying to God about this, and it was just kind of a really serious thing. Like, I need to know what I can do next in my life as far as business goes. And we were on the last day of the trip before we headed home. We were in Hollywood, California, and I wanted to photograph the back of the Hollywood sign because I knew it was going to be an awesome photo. And I also knew that there was an influencer who lived in Los Angeles, and his name was Serge, and still is, Serge Remily. And he's one of the best landscape photographers in the world. And he didn't know me at all, but I sent him an email and I said, "Hey, Serge, I'm one of your followers. My wife and I are going to be in Hollywood tomorrow. We're going to hike up the mountain to the Hollywood sign. Is there any chance that we could connect with you somehow?" And he said, "Well, I need to create some new content, so I will hike up that mountain with you tomorrow, and let's go get some video footage that I can put out on my YouTube channel." I thought, wow, this is the most amazing thing ever. And remember, this is the last day of our trip. And so we're hiking up that mountain, and he said, "Tim, I took a look at your website and your landscape photos, and you're an awesome photographer. You should do what I do. You should sell online. You should create courses and masterclasses and sell them to other hobbyist landscape photographers. And there's a book that you need to read. It's called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, and that book is going to change your life." So when I heard that, it was like, oh my goodness, this is like the greatest answer to prayer I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
It was just a life-changing moment. It really was. And I never expected it. But I ordered that book on Amazon and it was waiting at home when I got there. And I devoured that book. And I knew that this was it. This was the next thing for me. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. It sounds like, why would anyone get emotional about this, about a book? But when it's so life-changing, it's not just a book, it's not just a business, it's my life, and it ultimately changed the future of my entire family. Like, if that Serge Remily had any idea what his words would mean to me and my family, he never could have known. So I got home, I devoured that book, and I had the formula laid out before me of what I needed to do. And it was in February 2019 that I really got serious and said, okay, this is it. I'm going to launch this business. And I started with just a $27 product, and it started to sell. And then it was in the summer of 2019 where I recognized, okay, I need to create my first webinar here. I was utterly terrified to create my first webinar. And it was such a daunting thing. And I created the webinar to sell a masterclass that I hadn't even made yet. But I created some boxes that represented the masterclass, and I sold them on the webinar. And then I taught the content live to the buyers 1 day per week for 6 weeks. And at the end of those 6 weeks, I had the recordings that I turned into an evergreen webinar, and I was able to sell that masterclass. And you know, it's funny, that was in 2019. I am still selling that masterclass to this date in its original format. It's been absolutely amazing. It's been life-changing. So the next thing that happened was that I knew that I needed to go to Funnel Hacking Live. And I knew in my heart of hearts that it was going to be a life-changing event for me. So in 2020, my wife, Leah, and I flew to, that was in Nashville.
Yep.
We went to Funnel Hacking Live. And when I saw people walking across the stage, receiving their 2 Comma Club awards, I was just so taken with the achievement and the accomplishment that those entrepreneurs were able to create. And I made a vow to myself, and I said, I am going to be walking across that stage next year, and I'm going to be getting my own 2 Comma Club award. And not only that, at some point in the future, I am going to be speaking from this stage at this conference. And it's utterly incredible to me that this year I will be speaking from that stage. And since then, I've received 4 2 Comma Club awards. And just 2 days ago, coincidentally, on my birthday, we hit $10 million in sales that qualified me to apply for the 2CCX award, and that application has been submitted now. So really exciting, really life-changing, and I can assure you that for those of you who are watching right now, if you have any doubts that selling online and webinars and auto webinars or challenges, dramatic demonstrations, if you have doubts that they don't work, I can assure you that they do work. And when you follow the formula that has been set out before you by others who have gone before you, it is the fastest way to find success.
And these aren't things that are ancient that worked once upon a time. These are still the backbone of your business. This is still what you do. Like in the video that you presented, you're still making these crazy webinars where you're traveling. Can you explain like what the idea is behind just the traveling webinars? Because I think that might be connected to what you're talking about at Funnel Hacking Live. I'm not quite sure.
It's so amazing what happened. So if we can just go backwards about a year and a quarter ago, it was the spring of 2022, and I was looking for a way to make our webinars more dramatic. And you notice that Russell phrases webinars and challenges now as he categorizes them into being dramatic demonstrations, that you need to give a dramatic demonstration in the form of a webinar or a challenge. And I was looking to make my webinars more dramatic. And it was right at that time that Elon Musk made an announcement that the Starlink satellite dish was now portable. You could move with it, because prior to that point, you had to have it at your home and it could never leave your residence. But he said he's turning on the roaming feature so you could take it with you. And as soon as I heard that, my first thought was, oh my goodness, that's so awesome. The next time we take a trip, we'll have internet with us, so I could just keep the business going and stay in touch. And then the next thought came, oh, wouldn't it be cool that I could do like a Facebook Live from a really cool place, like maybe the Grand Canyon? And then I was thinking, well, if I'm going to do a Facebook Live, I think we should go the extra step and make some money. Like I need to sell something. And like the thought of webinar hadn't even occurred to me. It was this rolling process. And then, okay, so I'll do a Facebook Live and I'll sell something. How am I going to do that? And then it was like, well, obviously it has to be a webinar. Yeah, it has to be a webinar, not a Facebook Live, but a true webinar. And from the coolest place I could ever think up. And that was not just the Grand Canyon, but from the edge of the Grand Canyon. So we knew of this place on the north rim of the Grand Canyon where you have to 4x4 for 61 miles to get to the edge of the Grand Canyon. It's truly the middle of nowhere. And that's where we decided that we would host this live webinar. But the challenge was, okay, what are we going to sell? Because I wanted my community to be able to be presented with a brand new offer that they had never seen before. So I kind of thought, well, what if we make a brand new masterclass along the way to the Grand Canyon? So Leah and I set out in our truck and camper, and we stopped at 8 locations along the way, like the city skyline of Seattle and the Hollywood sign, Big Sur on the coast of California, also the Manhattan Beach Pier outside of LA, Bryce Canyon in Utah. So we stopped at 8 places and filmed masterclass content, and we called it the Epic 8, so that we were stopping at the 8 most epic locations in the Southwest. And it was a really tight timeline that we had in order to create all of this content to build the masterclass along the way. And not only did we need to build a masterclass, we also had to build a brand new webinar with brand new webinar content. And to do all this while standing 15 feet away from the edge of the Grand Canyon. So it was a huge push to get it done. It was a very heavy lift, but what was so cool was that our opt-in rate was about 3 times higher than it normally was for a webinar, a live webinar from home. Whoa. And in that case, our conversion rate was about, I'm trying to remember on this one, it was about 1/3 higher. Like at the end of the webinar, the conversion rate was about 1/3 higher than it normally was as well. So at the end of the webinar, it had gone so well and we had these amazingly high sales. And it was like, wow, did we ever just like discover a new thing here? That you can make your webinars more dramatic just by hosting the live webinar at a really cool place that has a cool name and some panache to the name. So we thought, let's do it again. So we did it a second time, like 6 weeks later, from the Rocky Mountains. We held a live webinar in the middle of freaking nowhere in the Rocky Mountains. And we built up the hype for that webinar by saying where it was going to be, and also by categorizing it as a world's first, like no one has done this before. And that went so well with a higher opt-in rate and a higher conversion rate. And then it was like, let's do this again. So that brought us to the fall of 2022, and we were flying to Orlando to go to Funnel Hacking Live. So we thought, well, while we're over there on the East Coast, let's make another masterclass based on East Coast locations and then host a live webinar in New York City. So if you think of like late night TV, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and those types of late night TV shows, and they say live from New York, and there's this panache and instant recognition that people have with live from New York. So we went with that for the third webinar from the field. And when I said live from New York, I actually wanted to have it in Central Park, but I was concerned that people might walk up to me during the webinar, and I didn't want to take that chance of being interrupted. So we rented a hotel room that had a view of the New York skyline, and that was all that it took. So there's me in a hotel room with my laptop, with the camera on the laptop that's able to look out the window behind me so that I could really officially say, I am live in New York. And once again, our opt-in rate was higher and our conversion rate was higher. So then, of course, I thought, well, we need to do this again. And that brings us to April 2023. And for that one, we went to the Southwest again. And this time we held a live webinar from the sand dunes of Death Valley National Park. And for that one, we were able to conclusively say this is a world's first. No one has ever done this before. So there's Leah and I literally in the middle of nowhere in these sand dunes in Death Valley National Park. There are no other human beings for I don't know how many miles away from us. We didn't see another person at all. And we hosted a live webinar, and we did some extra tricks to make it even more dramatic. And for this one, we had 4 times more show ups for the live webinar compared with one from home. And we finally were able to get our conversion rate like up at 50% higher than a normal webinar from home. So that's what we've been doing. And it has really dramatically changed the business. And what's even more cool is that we have evergreened those 4 webinars from the field, and we have them on a rotation in the business. And every 8 weeks, my customer base will see one of those 4 webinars for a weekend. And because we're bringing in new customers all the time, new people are seeing it and they're buying and buying and buying. And it's like those 4 webinars from the field are just the gift that keeps on giving.
That's amazing. So that, okay, you clearly mastered dramatic demonstrations, dramatic demonstrations. But can you tell us what you're coming to the FHL stage to speak about? Because it's not exactly that, is it?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be talking about what I call the dramatic demonstration formula. And it's things that you can do inside your webinars to make them more dramatic, and how you structure your ads for the webinars so that you will get more people opting in. And it's really, we know that a webinar is classified as a dramatic demonstration, but there are just things that you can do to make them even more dramatic. And that's what I'm going to be speaking about from the stage, and really encouraging all entrepreneurs who are at Funnel Hacking Live, like, you need to be doing this. And it doesn't just apply to my business. You need to be kind of seen. I have these 4 rules when you're talking about how to be seen as an authority in your niche. And the 4 rules are that, number 1, you need to be seen as the guy or the gal. So you need to be seen as the gal or the guy. Number 2, at the place. Number 3, with the stuff. And number 4, doing the thing. So you got to be seen as the guy at the place with the stuff doing the thing, whatever your niche is. So like if you were in fitness, I would want to be doing a live webinar, like live from Gold's Gym. Or if it was yoga, like live from the yoga studio. If I was in finance, I would be doing everything I can to find a hotel room on Wall Street so that I could be hosting a live webinar from Wall Street. Or whatever is kind of the place in your niche, you need to be hosting a live webinar from there. And it's going to up the curiosity level of your audience. It's going to increase your perceived level of authority in the niche. And it gets more people curious and gets more people there to watch your webinar. And when people are watching, then you're going to have buyers. So it's something that's worked so well for me. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to encourage everyone at Funnel Hacking Live to try the same thing.
So this is the dramatic demonstration formula, and it's what you're talking about at Funnel Hacking Live on stage. It's the pieces that'll make it more powerful. Guys, if you don't have a ticket yet to Funnel Hacking Live, like, this is just to being able to increase your opt-in rates, just the 30% increase, and then up to 50% on the order form. You don't know how many businesses that would change overnight. Those little tweaks, when you start to run lots of traffic, is the end game that we're all wanting. We all want to be able to just make that last tweak, because that last tweak is just pure value, pure cash in the bank. It is glorious. And this is that formula. And I'm so freaked out. Like,
So, and just to give you some numbers, on an average webinar from home, we will have 900 people. But in the last webinar from the field, we had 3,800 people. So it's like 4x the number of people who actually showed up and watched live. And we all know we want people to watch live because they're much more likely to buy while they're watching live, as opposed to an evergreen webinar. So it is a formula that truly works. And I'm also going to be talking about certain things that I do inside the webinar when the webinar is running to help increase that level of drama inside your presentation.
I love it.
All right. So correct me if I'm wrong. Not only are you coming onto the stage to share this, not only have you traveled the country literally multiple times, not only to find this calling, but to live into it and to love into it and to create something that's never been done before, shatter records, and then be able to present that on stage. You're also coming with a gift. Is that right? You come bearing gifts?
I come bearing gifts. Absolutely. I want to do whatever I can to get you to show up to Funnel Hacking Live. It changed my life the first time that I was there in 2020. And of course, I was there in 2021, 22, and this year, 23. So I definitely want to do whatever I can to incentivize you to come and to learn what you can and to get motivated and to get inspired by the top drawer speakers who are going to be there on the stage. So yes, I am bringing something that I think is pretty awesome.
Okay, so first, before you do that, really quick, can we pull up the offer really quick? Because already, if you're getting a ticket to Funnel Hacking Live, the stack is already crazy. Like, Russell is giving you so much. Not only do you get your ticket, so you get to come with you can bring your business partners, you can do all of that. You get swag like out the wazoo, ridiculously crazy amounts. Let's go ahead and pause it there if we can. And you get marketing.ai. You get that integration inside of ClickFunnels 2.0, which is spectacular. You get bonuses that have been given by the inner circle and now speakers, but you get the replays from every single Funnel Hacking Live. Which Funnel Hacking Live was your first time again, Tim? Was it 2019?
2020.
2020. All right, so you get to go and see, we have the video of the people walking across the stage to receive the True Comic Award. If you want nothing but pure desire and need, mount a TV in your office and set that up on constant loop and watch every single year of people walking across the stage with these awards. It's absolutely spectacular. You get all of that when you get your ticket, plus a special gift. So Tim, what is that?
The special gift. Yes. So I've been talking to you about webinars, and I am going to be giving you a masterclass that is called the 7-Figure Auto Webinar. And I'm going to show you 7 things that you can do with your own auto webinars that are going to result in more people signing up, more people showing up, and hopefully more buyers. And I'm also going to be showing you what I call the sticky hook formula and how you can make free giveaways that are, I call it the sticky sharp hook. And it's when you have a hook when you're fishing and it's so sharp and you touch it against your finger and it just like it's so sharp, you classify it, wow, this is sticky sharp. So how to make hooks that are sticky sharp for your auto webinars. And that's what you're going to get as part of this masterclass.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Thank you for giving that.
Well, you're welcome. And, you know, I want to say something else to everyone who's listening now. If you're sitting on the fence thinking about Funnel Hacking Live, and maybe you have that feeling that the other entrepreneurs who are more successful than you, they have something special. They have some sort of, they're gifted. Maybe you think they're smarter. That's not what it is at all. No one is smarter than you. What it really comes down to is your belief that you can do this, and then followed by whether or not you are going to actually take action and follow through with it. And what Funnel Hacking Live did for me when I went the first time, it gave me the belief that I can do this. And it, because I had the belief and it built my personal level of confidence, that gave me the permission and motivation to take the next step and then to take the next step after that. So if you go to Funnel Hacking Live, I have no doubt in my mind that you are going to be motivated and inspired, and you will walk away with the belief that you can do this too. That will give you the confidence and the permission to absolutely go for it.
You heard him. Go to FunnelHackingLive.com. You can get your tickets there. Get that whole stack that Ben went over, and the tickets sell out every year. You want to get your ticket as soon as possible so that you can make sure you actually can get one. And this is just the stack of speakers that's going to be there is insane. Plus a concert at the end of the event. So make sure you go to FunnelHackingLive.com, get your ticket. And we're all going to be there. We will see you there. You guys can jump in, start consuming all the gifts and the bonuses that everyone's putting in there, and really have an awesome time between now and Funnel Hacking Live too, of just preparing and focusing in on what you need to do for your business. So Tim, thank you so much for joining us today. Really awesome to talk with you and have you share some great insights, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be speaking from the stage this year. And I hope to see some of you who are listening now at Funnel Hacking Live this year. It's coming up so soon. And, you know, there is one promise I will make for you, and that is that if you go, you will not regret it. Oh my goodness, is it ever time well spent? It was the best decision that I ever made only 3 short years ago when I went for the first time. And now I'm speaking from the stage, and I've just applied for the X award that I just qualified for. And that is a huge deal. If I can do it, others can do it too.
Everybody come get inspired. Get your tickets for FunnelHackingLive.com, everybody. We'll see you there.
We'll see you guys next time.
There are so many people walking around who don't know that they can change the world.
You were born to do something great with your life. As an entrepreneur, you're going to have painful experiences, but all pain is temporary. And if you can survive it, you will meet another version of yourself.
I was just numb. We were racking up credit cards. We stopped paying for our house. We literally were selling furniture out of our home.
I felt trapped and exhausted by my life, and I couldn't see a way out.
I felt like a shell of who I was made to be.
In life, you are most capable of helping the person you used to be. If you used to be broke, you can help broke people. If you used to be broken, you can help broken people.
It starts with you. You hear the call. You feel it. It's beating, it's pulsing. I'm made for something more.
We get scared.
And then fear hits us.
The little voices in the back of our head.
I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. The driven say, no, I'm going to do it. The driven are you guys here today.
More people are finding their breaking point and waking up.
I have a calling. Yesterday I realized I have to do this.
There's a soul here at ClickFunnels.
I felt like I had gone through the wardrobe of the Chronicles of Narnia, and I was just like, what is this magical place that makes billionaires?
I'm going to show you the magic trick that's made me all of my money.
My best-selling framework.
Start out closing if you're going to end up
82% of customers trust influencers.
This better blow your mind and allow you to predict the future.
People need aliveness and meaning again.
Who do you want to become? What do you want to felt and experience in this one precious life?
You wouldn't be able to tell, but I ran the New York Marathon when I was 19. Life happened, and my mom passed away, and one of my daughters had a traumatic brain injury, wasn't expected to live.
When you meet somebody that continues to push through adversity, that is the definition of an entrepreneur. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to sponsor you through this journey because everybody deserves an opportunity. What you do with it is up to you.
People feel a sense of belonging here.
It feels like home. It's so encouraging because if they can do it, so can I.
It starts with saying, hey, next year we're going to get that.
Russell has a way of teaching that makes success faster.
In my opinion, he's the best marketer who ever lived.
You find exactly what your business is missing.
It's going to amplify every campaign you do.
If you've been thinking there has to be a better way to do this than what you're being told, I'm here to tell you you're right.
People might say you're too young or you're too old or your body's not right or you didn't go to the right school. Then one day, they're telling people how they met you.
Funnel Hacking Live changed my entire life because now I know what I'm going to do next.
Your family's going to be blessed. Your legacy's going to be blessed. Movements are about to be birthed.
My story hopefully gave women permission.
If you're believing, stand to your feet.
You do not have to be great to get started, but you have got to start if you ever want to be great.